much. Hi. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's really super exciting. So basically, just came with a title, thinking about this song from The Fray, which I really like. And it's really basically telling you a story of a project I've been working for the last probably 10 years on market intelligence, and very, very happy to share with you how I just approach market intelligence in a number of companies. Just sometimes, not every day, obviously, sometimes I wish I was an accountant. You know, it's easy. You control your performance. KPIs are super simple. Stories are simple. Everybody understands money. Everybody understands P&L. Yeah, market here is not as black and white as you know. What was the last time that you find a clear correlation between investment and the result? And it's slightly more interesting. Slightly more challenging as well. So the fact is, if you look on the exec board, probably CMO have the highest turnover. So we've got quite a short life expectancy in a company, obviously. And it's probably because of the really high expectation of the job. The fact that, well, as you all know, there's no such thing as a stable market. It's changing every time. Google is kind enough to change the rules of the game every now and then as well, just makes it more spicy. And I think probably there's really expectation from people when they hire someone marketing. I always felt they look for Harry Potter. You come and just magic one, just going to make the company grow and very profitably. So we share with it's kind of a nice 6 figures of pictures, say what people think we are. And basically, yeah, what we do, we're trying just to do magic. So magic's really the theme of the day. And actually, I probably would define myself like a permanent contractor. And you know, there's nothing permanent in life these days. So I've been seeing myself moving from quite a lot of companies, which I really like. I really like just to bring change, like the changing environment, and also just looking at, say, a number of similarities. And the beauty with marketing, especially in digital marketing, is a lot of the skills you developed are fully transferable from one business to another. And as often as a contractor, your life expectancy is even shorter, so you generally have 1 week just to make an impact, just for a company to see that, well, you are any good. So, GoCompare, also a nice company, very competitive environment, and financial services and price comparison is a super, super competitive environment. I started as a contractor, and as a contractor, how do you make sure, well, you can be retained and make an impact? So what I do generally when I come into a new company, the first thing is try to really understand the market. And fortunately, we've got Similarweb data, which is really useful. So you probably will recognize these graphs. You can build your own dashboard, Similarweb. So that's really good to know. So you know how you're performing. Are you going faster, slower than the market? Are you over-indexing, under-indexing on channels? So you can get a good feel of what's going on, really. But actually, a lot of the time, if you want to be successful, you need to tell a story. And you need to tell a story which is going to be understood by people who have very, very short bandwidth of attention. So if you want to speak to your CEO, you really have 5 minutes, and you have one picture which is going to make an impact. So these are my pictures. So it's the same data, but basically I just started to create market maps very much 8 years ago. And what it gives you is a nice tree map, or Marimekko before, on how you take the same data as you've seen before, but just project this on your market. So you can see basically, this is the footprint of the competition in terms of channels. So you can see how big a channel really is. You can see that, well, some competitors have different footprints. For instance, Money Supermarket is very strong, or USwitch are very, very strong on search, whereas Compare the Market or GoCompare traditionally was stronger on brands. But and actually, this, you can really recognize this. It's very different strategies, marketing strategy people have built over time. But that's good. That's quite useful in a way. So people, if you want to say, hey, I see we need to invest in SEO, this is the opportunity we have, people get it much faster than if you showed them tables of data. One of the challenges is we operate across 50 products, something as different from car insurance, mortgages, or energy. And clearly, all the competitors have different footprints in terms of products. So that's quite interesting, but it's not quite actionable yet. But you do have a lot of data, a lot more data that we just realize if you go into Similarweb. So in that case, I just taken the data I use on probably on a daily basis, and it's just 250,000 keywords just in the 5 price comparators website universe. So how do you make sense of it? Because I mean, you can be drowned here. So you need to apply a bit of magic. In my case, I've got to confess I really love data, and I'm a bit of a geek myself, so I actually a Python coding CMO, which is pretty special. But it's worth it, because when you do this, actually you've seen the graph before, which was just the channels. Now, if you start to classify the keywords universe, you can start getting a picture which is even more compelling. So you see here what is the market for car insurance, telco product, which would be broadband or mobile phones, for instance. You can see money, and you can see who basically is getting the share of which product. So that starts to be really pretty interesting, especially when you realize that, well, you can drill down further and look at, say, tell me what share of SEO traffic I've got for this particular product and whom I'm competing against. So when you present this to your exec, generally it's quite compelling. You can show exactly on something which they can grasp very visually in 1 minute. Okay, I understand. I give you the money to invest in paid search or in SEO or in brand marketing just so that we can increase our share of product in this particular category. Good news is with these tools, basically, I use them a lot when I was pitching for new business. It's very, very useful. You can basically just be amazed at people who will discover their market. They will see the market in a light that they've probably not seen before. So in the case of GoCompare, I don't think they realized before this was the size of the competition, or this is where would they need to consider for if you want to go into energy, for instance. Who are the big competitors and what is going to be the battlefield? So this is another term for me, it's really the battlefield of the market. And then you can start planning accordingly. Then, same data, same mark, and you can basically, okay, I want to target, say, USwitch, CTM, Money Supermarket. And this is basically just tells you, okay, these are the steps, and these are the opportunities, the traffic opportunities you have by product, by channel. So in just probably no more than, say, a week worth of work, which is mainly about classifying your keywords, you can actually get your whole strategy for a couple of years. You can also build these graphs to compare where you were 6 months ago or a year ago and look at, say, who has grown faster in this area. And then, something super exciting as well. So this is what I'm working on at the moment is a lot of times groups of companies want to know what is the next possible opportunity. And there's something in Similarweb as well which tells you which is the affinity If you look at your competitors, you can look at search competitors, but competitors in general, and you will see an affinity score of, say, which competitors are closest to your website. And what's great, if you basically take this proximity as a distance indicator, you can actually build what I call the kind of solar system, where you basically take your core products at the center, and from this you can see the further away you are, the more difficult it's going to be from a relevancy standpoint. So maybe you need to, for instance, take GoCompare. We could compare anything. We could compare refrigerators. For some reason, we started with car insurance. But you can say, well, what prevents us tomorrow from licensing our brands to compare white goods? There's a market for this. Maybe we will not be the best to develop this because it's very, very remote for our core skills in terms of building products or getting the commercial relationships, but we could certainly license a brand and be able just to find opportunities. So just a tool that you can use as well to map what are the next steps in your strategy. So for me, 6 ways to make marketing magic. So first, evaluate the market, really understand the battlefield, understand where you are, what are your strengths, what are the opportunities, what are key challenges, know your channels and know the competition, understand the products as well. So once again, most of the time, you probably would realize that, well, you get different competitors in different products. So where are they, and where do you want to focus your energy? And yeah, discover the next opportunity and grow. So that's my story at GoCompare. It's been my story for a few years now, and these tools have really helped me build a career and make impact really fast with a number of organizations. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Pascal. In the weeks leading up to that and having the ability to kind of discuss what you're doing with this data, one of the key kind of questions I had and thinking about all of you in the room is, if I was a marketer just starting out in my career and I wanted to get my hands dirty with market intelligence, where would you say I start, or some advice to kind of allow me to see the insights that you see?
For me, the two elements I always look at for any company are, one is understanding the market. This is really critical. And the second thing is understanding how your company makes money. So how profitable are each product, what kind of margin you have for each product, and what are the different costs for different marketing channels. When you've got both the market map in terms of size, opportunity, and you can overlay the cost and revenue you are going to bring, well, you got your whole strategy ahead of you.
Amazing.